A man's wife came home late and ate alone. Then he told the world what she's up to. Certain commitments can drive an unfortunate wedge between even the happiest of married couples. You could be forgiven for thinking that's what happened to Philip Ertz and his wife Jessica, especially after she came home late one night in May 2016 and decided to eat her dinner alone. However, Philip took to Facebook soon after to explain exactly why that was. A resident of Rome, New York, Philip owns a small business specializing in roll-off dumpster rentals called Pud's Dumpsters. In 2013, he celebrated one of the most significant days of his life, as he married his girlfriend, Jessica. However, after 3 years together, Philip felt the need to share something on social media. One night in May 2016, Jessica returned home late after a long day. As she ate her dinner by herself, Philip snapped a picture of his wife in the kitchen, before taking to Facebook. Inspired, the New York native then wrote a lengthy post explaining the situation, spurred on by a similar story written by user Bobby Wesson in November 2015. However, few could have predicted what happened next, as Philip's post was picked up by another page named Love What Matters. A New York-based media company, Love What Matters shares stories about love and compassion, earning it a sizable following on social media. Indeed, the Love What Matters Facebook page has accumulated over 7.8 million likes and has more than 7.9 million followers. Philip's post was shared on his Facebook page on May 15, 2016, as he hailed the efforts of his hardworking spouse. "This is my wife, Jessica, having dinner after a 14-hour day," Philip wrote. "She comes home from work, has enough time to eat and get ready for bed, and it's back to work the next day for another shift. Jessica is up early to get ready for her day," Philip continued. "She doesn't like to be bothered in the morning and I respect that. She showers, throws her hair up, grabs her lunch, gives the dog and me a kiss and heads out the door." From there, he talked about the work that his wife does on a daily basis. As it turns out, Jessica is a stroke nurse, tasked with looking after those in need. At work, she takes care of people who are having the worst days of their lives. Philip wrote, "Strokes, car accidents, motorcycle accidents, falls, breaks, brain damage, and more. She takes care of mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, friends, and families. It doesn't matter who you are or what happened," Philip continued. "She will take care of you." However, despite hailing her efforts, the New York native also admitted that the long hours often took their toll, as Jessica would be on her feet for most of that time. "Jessica works through lunch and rarely has time to sit," Philip wrote of his wife. "She comes home after 14 hours, takes off her shoes that have walked through blood and tears, and just wants to sit down. I don't ask her about her day because she doesn't like to talk about work when she is home, and that's fine." Despite that understandable mindset though, Philip made it clear that he was always ready to lend an ear when required. "If she does want to talk, I will listen," he continued. "Sometimes she comes home happy and sometimes she comes home sad. But no matter how she feels, she is always on time for her next shift." From there, Philip then rounded off his heartfelt post with a dazzling conclusion. "I love Jessica with all my heart," he wrote. "My wife is my hero. My wife is a stroke nurse." For good measure, Love What Matters also included the original Facebook post from Wesson that served as Philip's initial inspiration. Much like Jessica, Wesson's wife was a hard-working nurse and covered shifts that also lasted 14 hours, leaving her husband and baby behind at home. Both Wesson and Philip shared similar opinions of the respective partners, with the former also hailing his spouse as a hero for the work she did. Due to the nature of their profession, registered nurses work irregular hours over the course of a week. Indeed, scheduled shifts can last between 4 to 10 hours, 5 to 8 hours, or 3 to 12 hours, depending on who the employer is. Either way, it's a challenging role that requires unflinching dedication. Moreover, Philip's heartwarming words clearly made an impact online, as his story soon went viral thanks to Love What Matters. The shared post earned over 80,000 likes on Facebook, as well as over 10,000 shares and more than 3,000 comments from users on the social media website. And unsurprisingly, the reaction was hugely positive towards the work that Jessica does each day. "Nursing is the most underappreciated job out there," wrote user Denise Mary. "Let your wife know that she is appreciated by me. Her hard work doesn't go unnoticed. And way to be a wonderful husband and accepting that sometimes nothing said is better than saying anything. You two make a great team." That feeling was reiterated by fellow user Brittany Temple, who reserved special praise for Philip's attitude. "As a nurse, I know what an amazing human being your wife is. "I thank her for that," she wrote. "However, I want to thank you for seeing how hard your wife works. I'm sure you are her anchor on her worst days, even though she may not verbalize it. I know she thinks and feels it. So thank you." Indeed, Philip was hailed again by another nurse in the Facebook comment section, commending his outlook on the situation. Now here's a man who understands, respects, and most importantly appreciates his wife for the work that she does, wrote user Agneta Joy. "Being a nurse myself, I know the pain that most people cannot relate to. But somebody who loves you despite the fact that you hardly stay with them most part of the day is something to be applauded," Joy added. And while plenty of other comments echoed those sentiments, there was one final post that illustrated the importance of Jessica's job as a stroke nurse. "I am a stroke survivor," wrote fellow Facebook user Lisa Garcia. "Thank God for your wife and other amazing people like her, and those who support them. You both are wonderful human beings and are lucky to have each other." Certain work commitments can drive an unfortunate wedge between even the happiest of married couples. However, Philip Ernst has embraced it, and he knows the importance of his wife's job as a nurse. So while she may return home to a lonely dinner after a 14-hour shift, his remarkable attitude no doubt helps her through.